See me, that's what I like to see. No show, but I'm positive. Yo, I'm Anonymous Beanie Man, and I'm for short, and we about to watch this video by Wallace called The Most Unhinged Marriages on Reddit. Listen, this nigga did it again. He has managed to get me up out of my bed and film a video. This video came out 4 hours ago. I was gonna react to it when it freshly came out, but you know, the day got ahead of me. There's nothing more that I love than success of a person. You know, because this shit is hard, okay? Now, I asked for a challenge. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because taking a step back and realizing what I'm going through day by day, don't do that. Don't command a challenge when you go out on your own. That's why I'm not really pressed about all the unfortunate things I go through. Because it's like, I brought it on myself and I did ask for it. No, dead ass, like not ask for it in the sense where I got on the plane, came out here, you know, it wasn't my intention to get it. No, I dead ass in California sitting in my room was like, life, bring all the challenges you have, bring the hardest shit you can find and stick it up my ass. Fuck. And it did. And we're what? Thugs. We're still thugging, we're surviving, we got this shit in the bag. D'Angelo is a successful black man. I don't know anybody's pronouns. That's not important. D'Angelo, this successful ass shit gonna have your ass getting fucked up and ass ate and consumed and shit like a commodity. No, see why. Not that I'm saying I'm personally gonna be the one to do a little lick, no ice cream, but I can go for some butt sometimes. Okay, Wallace. Okay, I see you, girl. That's enough. That's the plan. Watch the show. I don't want y'all all in my goddamn room. I'm so tuned in to this nigga. Like, if his video's not playing in the background, him just sitting here just manages to keep me locked in and invested because he just has such a nice face. They have such a nice face. If it's not he, again, I don't know who's what, and I don't. Everyone's getting canceled for all types of shit on the internet that I'm definitely not ever getting canceled for. The fuck. But the LGBTQ community can be overbearing sometimes. Like, I'm sorry I misgendered you. You just don't look like the gender you're trying to pass off as. And I'm sorry if that sounds fucking ignorant or rude, but I'm sorry. Sometimes sometimes there's a little twang in these movements. It's just under diluted sometimes. I'm sorry I didn't know you were a woman because you have a fucking beard. I'm sorry. Or you look strong in the face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fuck. I thought you were just a super feminine guy. And that take right there just might get me canceled. But don't forget,
if I had to sum up today's entire video in a single word, it would be nuanced. Now, nuance is in short supply on the internet, especially when it comes to places like Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Nuance is in short supply on the internet, but today we're gonna have to do our best to read between the lines, look at every angle, and see if we can find a yes or no answer to the simple question of, am I overreacting? I've selected a handful of the best recent posts from r/am I overreacting, and as you'll see, answering a simple question like that often turns out to not be simple at all. Couple that with the fact that most people on this platform are there to vent about their relationship problems, and needless to say, we're going to wind up getting into some very gray areas here in a second. But first,
I would never, depending on what the problem is, sure, I see running to the information as an running to the internet as an outlet for information. That's what I meant. I get it to a point. But for relationship advice from these low life ass niggas, these hating ass niggas on the net, sure, if you're in the loving community, I support it. Whatever. Actually, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what anybody does with their lives. It's your personal shit. I can give less of a damn because every time we spend seconds and minutes and hours talking about not giving a fuck, we're just becoming broker. Get the fuck up and go get some money. Care about something else. Get out of people's business.
First, welcome. My name is D'Angelo, and I
Hey.
am your professor of anomalous normalcy, which is a very real degree that I definitely do have.
Why is
Maybe
captions
this is
on?
just me broadcasting myself talking in my room like YouTube used to be. And in today's lecture, I've decided to scale up the difficulty. It's been over a month since we've last graded posts from r/am I overreacting, so this time I've purposely chosen ones that are a little trickier to answer. Well, many of them are. Some of them, the answer is very obvious. We'll also be grading each post.
I'll give my opinion too,
because people do in fact enjoy lying on the internet. So this first question raises a few questions of its own, chief of which being, can you stalk somebody if you already live in their house? Am I overreacting?
Yes. Yes. That's that overbearing shit I just put on the Skittle community. This is overbearing. It's, what's that other word? I had an ex. He didn't stalk me, but he was on some who's texting our phone type shit. That's when you can back the fuck up out my shit. Cause I don't ever ask who the fuck you on the phone with. Come to find out, he cheated on me with multiple niggas.
A divorce after finding thousands of photos of myself sleeping on my wife's phone. Right off the
That is odd. I understand like a few snap stories like in bed with Bae. 10,000?
bat, I'll say of all the things to find 1,000 pictures of on your wife's phone, at least it was you? Question mark? My wife and I have been together for 11 years and have 3 amazing kids.
Oh, still
we have
going.
never had any serious issues. However, the other night I was looking for a picture of our son on her phone and I found an album called My Name, Sleeping, with 9,631 photos of myself sleeping over the years. 9,631. She never told me about this or sent me any of the photos. It is just me sleeping in numerous different angles. Well, I guess to build on my comment from before, if there's anybody who's going to have 10,000 photos of you taken without your consent, at least it's your wife? Question.
I mean, hey, it's weird. Don't get me wrong. It's a little weird, but it's not anything to get a divorce over. I mean, come on now. It's your wife. It's weird as shit. And I would be like, maybe we need to go some type of counseling. Delete the album. We maybe need to go to some type of... Hold on. Hey, girl. Hey, you done crying? Hey, are you okay, girl? Yes. Hey, sorry, all my bestie needed me.
Nah, this is
my channel's so ghetto. Who's watching this?
I can't believe I'm writing this, but I am so creeped out and don't know how to move forward. I confronted her about the pictures and she just got annoyed that I had her phone and offered no explanation.
Oh yeah, no, this is divorce material. Now that I've had time to listen to it, walk away, hear that, and then come back, this is actually divorce material. I changed my mind.
Very violated and am uncomfortable sleeping next to her. I feel like I can't be with this person anymore. What should I do? This is weird, right? Or am I overreacting?
See, me personally, if I open my spouse's phone and there were thousands of unconsensual photos, now that I'm saying it like that and breaking it down to myself, I feel like a clown ass nigga for saying that this wasn't divorce territory. Bitch, not only is this a divorce, this is a fucking lawsuit. The fuck? Assault, harassment.
So first I would like to go ahead and
get her
authenticity. I'm going to go ahead and give this a C. It passes. There's no red flag that indicates to me there's no way this is true. At the same time, this is such a uniquely strange situation. It would make sense if someone made it up. I think this person asked like 4 different questions. Am I overreacting for wanting to divorce her? Is this weird? What should I do? And am I overreacting in general? So I'm going to go ahead and start with the title, and I'm going to say yes, this person may be overreacting for wanting a divorce.
Oh, so I wasn't... Okay, never mind. I see both sides. Get a divorce if the bitch is being weird, but never mind. I'm going back to my original point. I agree with myself still. It's not divorce territory, but at the same time, I would see why you would want a divorce. Because if this is what she's doing behind your back while you're asleep, what the fuck else is she up to? Or she can just, this is just her little thing that she just fucked up for herself. And the only reason why I'm not in her defense, but trying to be more understanding, is because she's your wife, my nigga. y'all are married. I don't know. There's certain boundaries there that gotta be broke down in a marriage. I'm sorry. You're married.
Specifically. Now, to be clear, I'm immediately going to follow that up by saying, yes, this is weird. This is so very weird.
As fuck.
No, you're not overreacting by
You're not
being creeped out by this. I just feel like with this being effectively the perfect woman, you seem to have the same goals in life. She is the mother of your children, and this sounds like the only thing that has ever really been a serious issue in over a decade. I wouldn't immediately jump to divorce personally, at least not before figuring out what's going on here. So to answer the question of what should I do, talk to her. This person said he confronted her, but it's not clear what exactly was said. If you were just like, hey, what's with all these weird photos? And she was like, hey, why were you on my phone? And then it didn't go any further than that. I wouldn't say that's grounds for divorce. I would say that's grounds for another conversation. Weird? Sure. But like, let's talk about this kind of weird. Divorce feels extreme, especially if there are 3 kids in the picture. I definitely don't think you should stay together just because of kids, but I also don't think you should just jump immediately to divorce over what has effectively just been one.
Yeah, I'm not retracting. Get a divorce if you feel like it's necessary, but I don't think it's divorce worthy. I keep flip-flopping. Not because I heard his opinion, because I said my opinion first, but it's so weird. It's so weird. Bitch, why are you taking pictures of me while I'm asleep?
One thing, but then that one thing is kind of like 9,000 things. So, oh God, this one's breaking my brain a little bit. I think this is how my dog must feel. I do think this is significantly less weird if you're just taking pictures of your dog. To take so many photos of somebody else and not even think to yourself, how would they feel about this? It's not cool at all. Ooh, I bet it's an OCD. Like if she doesn't take one, you won't wake up or something. I mean, I definitely can't diagnose her with obsessive compulsive disorder, but this is obviously an obsession and she has a compulsion to do this. And that's why I would say my main thing would be trying to figure out, why were you taking these photos? I'm honestly going to have to give this my first, I don't know. I'm gonna say yes. Yes, you're overreacting if you want to divorce someone over something when you haven't had a real conversation about it. But
I was finna say, I was like, D'Angelo, bye.
Just my opinion. I genuinely could see someone saying, no, it's not an overreaction to want to divorce. I just feel like this is not a normal situation, so there's no normal way of answering it. Am I overreacting? My boyfriend broke up with me over horoscopes. I have been dating a new guy for just over 2 months. He's confident. Okay, we get it. You like him. Wait, actually, low-key, this description is kind of giving fan fiction. He's confident, protective, emotionally open, completely my type physically, blonde, blue-eyed, bearded, athletic build, and has a British accent. I mean, okay.
Bitch, sure. Jake Paul? Oh my God. Fuck, she's dating one of the Paul brothers.
I'm not saying the chances are 0, but let's just see what else is here. The relationship has gone really well so far.
Has it? So it's been 2 months. It's been 2 months. It's still the honeymoon period. It takes at least 2.5 months for you to see that low. Depending on the person, in my case, it took actually, it didn't even take months time. I saw this nigga's real character when I met him. And I decided to be a dumb bitch and still engage with the nigga. And we ended up being together for 4 months.
Exclusive after 1 date, and you ran around screaming with your roommate afterwards. I'm sorry, this is actually starting to give rom-com. The only thing this needs is like the other guy, right? The one you've known since childhood. And then the 2 of them compete for your affection in a gladiator ring. I don't know. I haven't watched a rom-com in a long time. Anyway, we were hanging out and I asked him about his birthday. I'm kind of into astrology and I wanted to check our compatibility. He then asked me if I really believed in that stuff and I said yes. He then went quiet for a bit and said, I don't think this is going to work out. He then started putting on his shirt to leave. Oh, you really had to throw in that detail that he was shirtless? Well, guys, my shirtless.
This nigga left you mid dick stroke? Oh, bitch, it's war. Go ahead and walk out that front door. Hopefully you make it out, because I'm gonna be right behind you with a bat ready. Laho.
Hunky man.
Look, out here in Texas, horoscopes, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in my personal experience, out here, I've heard more about horoscopes than I have in Cali. 1. 2. It's like almost every interaction. What's your horoscope? What sign are you? Almost every nigga I've interacted with is into horoscopes for some reason. And it's even with my ex I just got out of a relationship with. I tried many times to tell him I didn't think it was stupid. I never invalidated his belief pattern or thoughts. And I do feel like there's validity in it somehow, some way, some shape, form. I don't know what part, but a lot of it sounds like malarkey to me. How are you gonna box me into this personality that many other signs have, but they're not my sign? You don't have to be an Aquarius to be a bad person. Everybody can be a bad fucking person. I'm tired of this bullshit. And what the fuck is a rising sign, star sign, water sign? I don't give a goddamn of a fuck. Bitch, if you look good and got good genitals, come this way. I don't give a fuck if you're a star sign of Jupiter. I don't give a goddamn. What the fuck is that gonna do? Bitch, I ask you what sign you are, I'm still gonna be broke tomorrow. The fuck?
He's British. Did I mention he's British? He's from Britain. He broke up with me over
and he's a Brit.
Sentence. Am I overreacting? He said that there was too much unreason in this country and I don't need any more in my life. He said it spoke to how I thought about things and my critical thinking, which upset me. I don't know what to do next. Am I overreacting? I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna have to give this an F for authenticity. The one thing that always gets people in these Reddit posts is when they have too much information. It's like they really have to convince us that they're real, so they throw in like the little extra details. When I read posts that are describing what are supposedly emotional issues, but you somehow still remember all these physical details, like what somebody was wearing, I don't know, it just raises red flags. Anyway, almost everyone in the comments seems to be talking about astrology and like experiences they've had with it, negative or positive, and that's kind of what this post seems designed to do, to generate discourse about astrology and how people feel about it.
And so I just don't agree with that.
Into it. I don't believe in astrology.
Thank you.
The time I was born was a coincidence. You know what I mean? Obviously, it doesn't really affect my personality. A butterfly could have flapped its wings at a different speed 5 years ago, and then I would have been born slightly later, having different star signs. But I'd like to believe I would obviously still be the same person. However, I don't really see astrology as being that harmful, personally.
Me neither. It's just people do too much with it. I don't give a fuck if you're into horoscopes. We're still gonna be good. We can still even get married. We can still even have kids if you're into horoscope. That's how much I don't give a fuck. I start giving a fuck when you use horoscopes to make life decisions. That's when it becomes a problem. When you use horoscopes to decide if you should go eat ass. No.
Well, reading horoscopes, etc.
If it's D'Angelo,
it makes you stupid by any means. Or what? Unreasonable is what the boyfriend said. What's unreasonable is judging other people for any reason, let alone because of when they were born. So if that's what you're using astrology to do, knock it off. But if you're just like, oh my god, I'm such a Capricorn moment, like how does that affect me or make me? I feel like people get irrationally angry.
And I'm a Libra, so you know us Libras, like, girl, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
I do see examples of people using it to be very annoying.
Such a Libra.
Personally, I feel like those examples tend to be overblown, and a lot of them seem to stem from wanting to prove that it's all dumb, as opposed to just allowing people to be interested in something that doesn't interest you. But that's my astrology hot take. I don't know. This post is fake. Let's move on. Next we have, am I overreacting? My husband won't read the book I'm writing. Ooh, I bet all the writers will get a kick out of this one. I'm already getting mixed feelings about this because a book is a big investment. Like, reading a book is not an easy thing to do, but also neither is committing to someone in marriage, so surely if you've done that, you could maybe read a book. But you know what? Let's get the details. I started writing a book a little over a year ago. It's a fantasy romance novel. I'm on my 3rd round of edits, so the manuscript is complete. My husband refuses to read it, and then it seems that despite the husband not reading it, he still feels entitled to make a bunch of suggestions about the book, which is a little silly since it's already finished. He just uses the excuse I'm not a reader. But for me, it hurts because I've really put my heart and soul into this manuscript.
You know, side story, when I first came out here, I had met a barber and his wife who ended up revealing to me that she was trans. That was a doozy. I was like, okay. The wife, she did music. It was not good at all. No, her freestyle's horrible. It's like she was just saying remarks like, I got a duck in the pond. You bitches can't fuck with me. Yeah, okay. Bitches eating cereal. Sucking backpack niggas. Yeah. No flow, no cadence, just saying shit. And I had to sit there and be like, yeah. So I'm not a jackass. Because if I'm just upfront and honest, like I usually am, people aren't going to be like, you're a jackass, you're an asshole, this and this. But here's why I should have told the truth. I'm going to get called a jackass and asshole no matter what, if I'm telling the truth or not.
I didn't even get to the point of why I said all that. I said all that because she claimed to do music and it was so bad, and she tried to give tips and critiques at something she is horrible at. That's why I said all that.
I just want my favorite person to care enough about that to push past the fact that he doesn't care.
So shit like this pisses me off. What do you mean you're not a reader?
Worked on it. Well. I think for authenticity, I'm going to give this a B. I would almost give it an A, but I have to be honest.
I'm supposed to be answering the questions.
Writing up a fake post on Reddit about how
answer
your
the next one
doesn't want to read it will 100% result in the top comment being, I'll read it, as this person says in comment number 2. But I didn't see OP come back and promote the book after that, so I would say this is probably real. It doesn't seem like it's just an ad. But as for whether or not this person is overreacting, I'm going to say
wait.
I would say this is probably.
Am I the asshole? Wait, what was the question? I honestly don't think you should ask anybody who... It really depends on your career. You don't need to be a writer to know if a book is good or not. But I do feel like you need to be a regular reader. A book reader. I feel like you would only know if a book is good or not if you read books. Because if you're asking a regular everyday person that doesn't read, they're not going to know literacy. They're not going to know what level literacy it is because they don't read. That's where you first fucked up at, asking your husband. Number 2, what is the book about? And if he's not a reader, why would you ask? Girl, no, like you're not the asshole, but you need a new husband.
This person is overreacting.
Wait.
I'm going to say no, because I don't think that she's done anything. If she was like divorce or she said some horrible thing or whatever, I think those would all be overreactions. But having the feeling of working on something so intensely and then wondering why someone can't take 5 to 6 hours to appreciate it when that person has allegedly been appreciating you for however many years, I don't think that feeling is an overreaction. I think that feeling is valid and kind of complicated. However, it's really tricky though, because if he really doesn't care about fantasy romance, it doesn't actually sound like he's going to get what you wrote the book for other people. Which
so if he's not the target demographic, he's also not gonna have he's not gonna tell you what you want to hear per se. And it's not even good things. He's just not gonna know what to say. He's not gonna know what to add, how to add elements to make the story compelling. He's not gonna know because he doesn't read books. Fuck.
a positive experience reading it. Instead, he's just going to be trudging along page by page. Because, I mean, I love to read so much, but listen, if you hand me like a Civil War historical novel, I would rather die. Honestly, I have to be honest. Not because I hate the author or anything like that. I'm
trying not to pause too much, so I'll say what I have to say in a second.
Similarly, I will read an entire book. I don't care if it takes me days, but if you ask me to sit down and watch a single game of sports, goodbye. It doesn't even matter what sport it is. See ya. But then that's tricky though. Because if it was somebody I knew and loved performing as an athlete at the sporting event, I feel like of course I would show up if I could. But if a loved one wrote a Civil War novel, I would not read it. I have to be honest. So I don't know. This is all very weird and I have no idea how to feel about it once again. But I see this person has actually added some edits. So let's see what those say. Edit. Goodness,
I was reading those.
The thread. I've accepted that I've overreacted a bit. My husband and I spoke and I apologized. Please stop telling me I'm needy and terrible. It's not necessary. Okay. Well, this just seems like a happy ending, honestly.
And this is why I don't go to the internet for shit.
Though I will say, it doesn't
getting
seem
my
like
soul sucked out.
Frustration here, which is that every time you mention this book, he seems to have some sort of criticism.
I'm starting to tweak out. This is actually making me act out of character. I need to calm down.
And also, he didn't read it, so I think it's a little deeper than overreacting or being needy or whatever.
Yeah, this is
her of. I feel like there's probably a conversation to be had about that.
This is art.
Wow, who knew that communicating about an issue could bring resolution? If only everyone else on Reddit. No, actually, don't figure that out, because then I wouldn't have content. All right, am I overreacting? Husband told me to go to sleep while he is skinny dipping with my boyfriend. Huh? Oh, BF must mean best friend in the scenario. Okay. Husband told me to go to sleep while he is skinny dipping with my best friend in our pool. All right, so your friend came over, you were all sitting in the backyard, and your husband and your best friend started drinking. They decide to make a bet on who's gonna win the fight they're watching, and the husband proposes that the loser has to take a shot of whiskey and jump in the pool naked. No, that's weird. That's weird automatically. Your
husband, wife, best friend. This would only work in a polyamorous relationship or when y'all niggas aren't fucking dating and it's just a fucking friend group. This is weird. New husband. Yes. Wait, no, you're not overreacting. No.
Fully just said, hey, I want to see your friend without her clothes on. What? One of the bets was that if they both lose, I am not sure how, then they would both jump in the pool naked. I asked, why does it have to be naked? But he ignored that question. No. So this person went to sleep, woke up at 1 a.m. to the sound of splashing water, and saw her husband and best friend both skinny dipping in the pool. And then this happens until 3:30 a.m. It turns into a big argument for obvious reasons. And then he says, well, what about those times when we skinny dipped all together? How is this any different?
Because I'm not in it. Husband, what the fuck? Are you dead ass? You're dead ass. Okay.
I think for authenticity, I'm gonna give this a B. It's just kind of whatever.
Okay.
I can see it happening. And I'm gonna say, no, you're not overreacting. What is wrong with your husband and your friend? All I'm hearing really is that
new husband, new friend
for hours and hours. And they refuse to do anything about this. I honestly think it was doomed from the start. Because,
from the start,
being drunk and doing a bet where the loser has to strip is what's your real intention there? And then they both wound up doing it.
I'm sorry I'm pausing a lot. I'm the YouTuber that pauses a lot. If you don't like it, you're not gonna like my channel. I have a lot to say. I've been drunk before. And now when I hear stories about people essaying others, drugging others, murdering others, doing weird ass shit like this, I just don't understand it because I am so fucking happy when I'm drunk. I don't feel anything but fucking happiness. Optimism, bitch. Joy. Bitch, I stubbed my toe, didn't feel shit, and I thought I had diabetes. I was so joyful. I was so pure. I loved everything and everybody, even my ops. Because I was crunk off a little Smirnoff. I'm starting to learn Smirnoff is like bottom of the barrel alcohol out here, so I don't drink, so I don't give a fuck. But I've also come to the conclusion I don't like alcohol. So I'll still take like a shot or two to get like a little buzz, but I'm not a drinker. No. But using you being drunk is just a scapegoat for you to be weird. You weren't drunk. That's just how you are for real.
it anyway, which kind of shows it wasn't about the bet at all, question mark. This is truly just some weird
drunk mouth, sober thoughts, head ass nigga
here. Not overreacting. They both stepped over boundaries. I don't think you're overreacting. I think your best friend sucks though, and your husband does too. Not overreacting. Your husband and best friend don't seem to respect you or your marriage. I would distance yourself from her and make your husband go to counseling. Yeah, I would have to agree, honestly. Or at the very least, I would find some way to get to the bottom of whether or not he's willing to see this from your perspective. Because if he's not, that's nah, fam. Look, I thought I was gonna get through the entire video without mentioning my favorite website to bring up when I go through these Reddit reviews. In fact, if you've seen any of them before, you'll already know where we're going with this.
Is this a sponsorship?
Divorce.com. Go ahead, sign up. Right now is the easiest thing in the world. You know, choose your state. Honestly, oblivious or just straight up doesn't care. And I honestly feel like, and it's kind of giving Florida, honestly. But no, jokes aside, your man is weird.
Oh, it wasn't sponsorship.
Is either completely oblivious or just straight up doesn't care. And I honestly feel
she don't give a goddamn.
As nice as counseling and communication would be, I would completely understand just dipping after, well, not skinny dipping, but leaving after the scenario. I'm gonna go ahead and say no. This person was not overreacting. That was a perfectly appropriate reaction. Anger. Am I overreacting to my wife's girls' weekend? Oh, buddy. What is it about girls' trips that seem to rile men so? This isn't the first time a girls' trip has come up in these posts, but let's see what it is this time.
Girls' trip
for my wife and I for her birthday. At the same time, her girlfriends planned a weekend away. And so neither of you knew about the other's plans. She decided to go on the weekend with the girls instead of with me. Oh, oof. Oh, buddy. Everything just went black and white, and I just heard sad music start playing in my head. This is the kind of thing where, like, how could you not take it personally?
Damn. I'ma say you're not the asshole. Cause yes, your wife did have plans beforehand. Considering all this, yeah, I would have been like, damn, bae. You left me here with these fucking booty ass kids. I'm never fucking forgiving you. Fuck them girls. Fuck all them hoes. Fuck. That's what I would have said.
Oh, buddy. Okay.
It's crazy. I talk my head off and we're not even halfway through the video.
It doesn't sound.
I need to stop pausing.
I would give it an A, but it's a little too perfect, right? It's a little too impossible to answer. I think right off the bat, I want to say no, it's not an overreaction to be upset because once again, that's your genuine feeling. And it doesn't sound like you've, I guess, attempted to prevent her from going on this trip or anything insane like that. But oh my feelings would be hurt in this situation, honestly.
Mine too.
If I was the wife, what I think I would say is this. You and I, Reddit husband, can go on a trip whenever, even if it's not for my birthday.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say, but the video will be too long.
Piled together like so many different schedules, and this might be the only time we can go on this girls trip. So like comparing the schedules of 5, I don't know how many friends she has, we'll say it's 5 schedules to our 2 schedules. I'm confident in our ability to also go on a trip together after the fact. I think that's what I would say probably if I was going to choose the girls trip, but I also have no idea if I would choose the girls trip in that scenario. This really is like the hard mode of Reddit videos because I literally have no clue how I'm supposed to feel about this. What is everybody else saying? I just planned the girls' weekend with my friends, but while we were throwing out dates, I was also checking in with my husband to make sure there were no other plans I wasn't aware of. Did you guys communicate dates with each other at all? And the OP says this is how it came about. She asked me about that weekend with the girls, and I told her I was planning a weekend for her too, but I wanted it to be a surprise. Oh, buddy, it just gets more and more complex. This is also why I don't like surprises. For me personally, surprises don't add any level of
anything. It is just situational irony for the fucking enjoyment of whoever is ironing the shit, the scene. Let me tell you, I hate a goddamn surprise. If it's a goddamn cake, a burger, give me the surprise. But if it's a little surprise, get the fuck out my face before you get bopped up in it like that one video. No.
Of positivity or enjoyment to an experience.
No.
In fact, if anything, I am actually far more likely to have an anxiety response to a surprise, even if it's supposed to be positive. I just like knowing things ahead of time. You know what I mean? If you're
like we too grown for surprises,
and we're taking you on a trip,
we gotta do shit on a calendar.
Feel better than asking me weeks in advance, hey,
right,
will you be free on your birthday to go on this trip? That sounds super fun. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm totally gonna be free on my birthday. That does sound super fun. I'm not gonna sit around thinking, well, I wish you guys had kept it a surprise. And this is why I don't like surprises. They complicate things, and I like things simple.
Exactly.
I say, having chosen the most complex posts I could find. I mean, I don't think anyone did anything malicious here. Just unfortunate timing. I don't blame OP for being hurt that he was passed over for the girl. The wife was put in a tough spot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and agree.
I was like, why can I not hear it? My fault. I had to fix my camera.
Comment wholeheartedly. The wife, in my opinion, was completely valid. Passed over for the girls. Those are fair feelings. The wife was put in a tough spot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and agree with that comment wholeheartedly. The wife, in my opinion, was completely valid in saying, sorry, I think I'm gonna go on this trip with my friends. First of all, that's her decision regardless. And secondly, it does suck, but at the same time, you too can go on a vacation afterwards.
And you're married.
The husband did nothing wrong by trying to have a surprise party, and he's also certainly not doing anything wrong by feeling hurt and disappointed. However, don't set yourself up to expect things that haven't been confirmed. It's like a really lame lesson to learn, but I genuinely at this point can only get excited about things as they're happening. At any point before that, I tend to operate under the assumption that it could go away.
Because setting expectations, you're only going to get hurt.
Say the husband set himself up. Because that feels very callous towards someone who was just trying to be nice for his wife's birthday. But I will say I could see how this situation could easily be avoided in the future. Not overreacting, in my opinion. Am I overreacting about how this business owner responded? A month ago, I was interviewed for a job. I sent over my info and didn't hear back. A week goes by, 2 weeks. I assume I didn't get the internship. During this time, I was interviewing for a lot of internships. Today, I get this hi text from a number that isn't in my area code. I was confused. I asked who it was, and the screenshots say it all. All right, let's read a stranger's text messages. Heck yeah. Hi. Hi, who is this? Shane.
Shane Dawson? Unpopular opinion, I do not think he should be able to have kids. I actually think he should be on I think he should be some type of offender. But we're not gonna clock it. I think the internet, there needs to be some type of internet offender list. It prevents niggas from getting kids. I just don't like it. It's icky, mucky. I don't like it.
Have a good day.
I don't like it.
I would say me, honestly, but I don't even respond to numbers I don't recognize.
Exactly. You wouldn't even get a response.
I'm missing some great opportunities, but if my phone rings and they're not already a contact, I just decline. I've gotten a lot of high text over the years that have received absolutely no answer. Who knows? This could have been long lost relatives, royal families from obscure countries trying to offer me money. I don't know. Anyway, don't know what Shane. Have a good day. Cool. Great start or end. Who knows? And OP's like, I don't think you have the right number. And then Shane is like, did I cut and paste wrong? Okay, sounds good. And then OP's like, oh, what? This is for the internship. Why didn't you say something? They said, I apologize for coming off so abrasively. It's been over a month. I assumed that was the end of the process for me. When an unknown number texts me with little to no information, I tend to brush it off. I found another internship. Thank you for this opportunity. First of all, Shane, if that's even your real name, why would you not reach out and say, hey, Shane here. Why did I give him this voice? Why would you not reach out and say, hey, Shane here. I'm reaching out about the internship at the Shane company. I know it's been a while, but if you're still interested, we'd love to move forward. Just reaching out and saying, hey, it's Shane. What did you think was going to happen? I was told to reach out to you and you were expecting me. Probably one of the best ways you can
bitch, I was expecting you at the end of last month. Baby, your window has passed. I'm already on, bitch.
handle someone reaching out to you when you're going to be working a position, dealing with reaching out to people. Kind of told me everything I need to know about you. Try to reach out and you're just like, F off, bye. So maybe I will. What if SpaceX or HBO or Dancing with the Stars reached out and you didn't know them and then treated them like that? Would we just lose those tremendous clients? Do I eat that sandwich? Does the company ultimately lose out on business? Because this can't be real. Also, I was adding words. It doesn't say business. I was getting into character. Hold on. These are the questions that plague my mind. Moreover, that they will give my anxiety about our communications as a whole for this company. Bro, Do you think you're SpaceX or HBO or Dancing with the Stars?
Like, you're thinking a little too highly of yourself here, sir. You're just an A&R. That's all you are.
All three of these.
Shout out to my A&Rs. Scout me.
Institution.
I wasn't trying to be derogatory. That was so very derogatory and so fucking ignorant. A&Rs are actually super cool people, and you guys have a job that is not talked about enough, and you guys actually should be on a pedestal.
Corny to me. SpaceX, you're corny for being owned by Elon Musk.
Exactly.
HBO, you're corny for reading
booty, removing Cartoon Network, booty.
Max to Max. Ain't nobody calling that Max.
No.
And Dancing with the Stars, you're corny for that Anna Delvey thing. Having Anna Delvey on the show.
I like the Mary Wilson episode though.
If any of these three companies reached out to, well,
not too much.
Hold on a second. HBO. Maybe we could work something out. Do a little original show, something like that.
Am I thinking of Max?
Nah, fam. Anyway, for authenticity, I'm honestly gonna give this an A. I'm gonna give it an A. I know it's like kinda out there, but there's a reason I know this is true. I have dealt with Shanes in my life. I have known one too many Shanes in person. I have unfortunately worked for a Shane or two. So no, I feel like this happened. This might have happened, honestly. And even if it didn't, I feel like it could. Now, as for whether this person overreacted, obviously the answer is no. They had a perfectly normal reaction. Shane is definitely the one overreacting, and I'm really curious as
that
to what
ego
kind
was
of
scarred.
Shane thinks he's running here. Like, who does Shane think he is that he could just say the word Shane and this person would know? Like, if someone reached out and I was like, okay, who is this? And they're like, Elon, I'm gonna be like, oh. But Shane is not nearly a distinct enough name. In the It's giving delusions of grandeur. It's giving like unreasonable expectations. Nah, I hope you blocked him after this. It serves him right. Shane is a mess. You dodged a bullet. When I get a random text that just says hi, I assume it's a scammer. Same. These are the questions that plague my mind. This is unhinged. Imagine how he treats the people who actually work there. Nah, fam. Bye, Shane. All right.
Bye, bitch. That's what the fuck I would have said.
Reacting. My wife cut off her hair and told me that she is bisexual.
And I would have said, invite the coochie. Where is that? Oh, welcome to the club. I mean, can I get an amen?
Uh-oh. It reminds me of that one meme. Any female born after 1993 can't cook. All they know is McDonald's.
No, my sister born in 1993. She got the auntie arms. She can cook. She can cook some good pork chop.
They phone, twerk, be bisexual, eat hot chip, and lie. Honestly, I feel like most of the women I know who were born after 1993 would look at this list and they just go like, and what about it? Like, okay, but I don't know, if you were born after 1993, let me know if this is an accurate assessment. I mean, sure, not everybody's twerking, not everybody's bi, but who doesn't charge their phone? Anyways,
I'm all of those.
I was quite taken aback to discover that my wife had chopped off half her hair. By half, I mean the left side of her hair was at least half a meter long, while the right side was cut to just above her shoulder. Oh man, she hit you with that Ava Max cut, not the Max cut. Okay, I helped her to even things out, and today she went to the hairdresser to tidy up the look, as I am no Paul Mitchell. I mean, that's sweet that you helped her. After collecting her from the hairdresser, my wife confessed that she has realized she is bisexual, and likely has been for some time. I think this might have been the case for a bit longer than I realized. Maybe forever, almost. I don't know. I assured
you know, and I feel like this needs to be woken up, so let's wake it up. A lot of people in unhappy marriages, a lot of people unhappy with their children, a lot of people unhappy in their careers are just gay.
I don't judge her for that.
And they're too scared to admit it to themselves or to people.
To tell me. However, that's not a good place to put it. However, I can't help but feel there's something off, considering the drastic change in her hairstyle and her subsequent coming out as bisexual after 17 years of marriage. Reddit, am I overreacting? We are in the UK. Yeah, I could tell because you said whilst. I could just tell you're British and blonde, tall, muscular. You're basically that other girl's boyfriend. Anyways, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but it kind of sounds like your wife is having a bit of a crisis. Now, granted, it sounds like you're very much being there for her despite this. Giving yourself a regrettable haircut is nothing.
Like, babe, do you want to eat some puss or what?
That you haven't told anyone for 17 years? Well, I mean, 17 years of being married, let alone her whole life. Nothing this person's described.
I can't imagine keeping my little fuck ass secrets in for fucking. I kept my shit in for as long as I fucking could. And when I finally told people, they didn't give a fuck. So I just started speaking my mind. That really shook the table.
Sounds like overreacting. I think feeling like something is off is valid because something is off. This isn't how she normally acts, you know? But it sounds like she's trying a lot of things and you're not holding it against her in any way. I don't think enough has happened here to say that this person has overreacted. And who knows, maybe nothing will happen in the future. Your wife being bi doesn't really mean she can't be attracted to you anymore. I feel like people in the comments are a bit thrown off by this one. I don't know if you're overreacting because you didn't even say how this makes you feel. Something off isn't much of a reaction. You didn't really tell us about your reaction other than you were supportive. So what are you really asking? Are you considering divorce? Are you angry? Did you say something ugly? Like, that's hardly a reaction at all. I understand this is Reddit and we want things to either be blowing up or like perfectly balanced as all things should be, but nothing happened so far. This is very mild. People cut their hair sometimes badly, and hey, sometimes they come out as bi after decades. Genuinely, nothing could change in the future, or a great many things could change in the future. So as long as you're aware of this, I guess I would just stick with it. It's very impossible to answer this question, but I would say don't fixate on what could happen. Just take things as they're happening. She hasn't said she doesn't love.
When I said people are unhappy with their lives because they're gay, I don't know that for sure. I just know it's a thing for sure.
Love you anymore, etc. Being bi doesn't mean she's gonna run off with like anybody she sees, you know? She was already bi during that,
especially the opposite gender.
17 years, and there didn't seem to be a problem. And at most, something off isn't reading as leaning into biphobia, but I would say just make sure it doesn't turn into that. Don't come up with weird assumptions about her just because of her identity, etc. But yeah, that was the last post I had. And now for our recap. Were you paying attention? I want a divorce after finding thousands of pictures of myself sleeping on my wife's phone. You may be overreacting, possibly, but that's still very weird. Am I
we're at the end. Okay, D'Angelo, how long is this? It's 2 minutes. I got you when my camera's off. I'm gonna get your watch time up. I got you. But yeah, I think I want to be like Ice Spice and bite this nigga's flow. I want to do this. I don't got no Reddit server. I didn't know you can just pull up Reddit servers and read them. I mean, I knew that, but how do I say it? Where the Reddit thread isn't dedicated to him. Kaya, Dante, I don't know, Flight. I don't watch, Flight, but I mean, I don't watch. What I'm trying to say is those are the YouTubers that usually have threads dedicated to them that I've seen, that I either watch. And this is like, I know it's nothing new, but it's the first time I'm seeing it. So I'm like, oh, I could have just gone on Reddit this whole time and just pulled up a thread and made a video on it. I'm the one cock blocking myself from success. I'm the content creator. I have to make something. The fuck? Pseudonyms, if you're still here, you deserve to get 8 front to back. D'Angelo, now come on now. That's what I was gonna say. When he said he liked to read books, I was gonna say, you look like it. See, I was watching a Chanel video. And it was rate, I don't know, people on an attractive scale, and they were rating people, skinny, fat, black, all this and this. And one of the ladies was giving her honest opinion on, a fat woman, but she was like, I don't want to say she's fat because I don't want to be rude. And then the lady was like, well, you wouldn't have to apologize if you weren't trying to be rude. So why would I apologize for saying he looks like he reads books and likes books if I'm not trying to be rude? Because I caught myself saying, but I'm not trying to be rude. But then that's undertones right there. That's the undertones you guys got to look out. When somebody says da-da-da, but I'm not trying to be rude, I'm not trying to be this, they really are. It's undertone. So sorry. I would like to come out and apologize. I almost played in your face. I'm sorry. Finna play that butt. I would also like to preface this. Let me get in the camera. Take away this YouTube shit. Take away the social media shit. The weird things I say would not be said face to face. Of course not, duh. But in retrospect, it's kind of odd, the things I'm saying. I don't even know this nigga. But it's the image I'm choosing to perpetuate online. And I cannot be mad if this shit comes back and bites me in the ass later. I can't. I literally can't, because I'm just doing the most. And I've realized this a long time ago, but shit is popping off behind the scenes and my social media a little bit. And it's kind of making me realize, maybe I'm not much of a thug as I thought I was. I don't give a fuck. The internet's not real, so pull up. Get your dick sucked. Soon as I fuck with you, fucking with me, meet me back here, anywhere else I might be. And I'll be here waiting for your return. Adi. Trying will always be good enough because I had enough will to do so.
Since we bout to close out, I do an improv. Plus that nigga stoning me cause I'm rock hard. About to get exclusive, do something to get your rocks out. And I'm telling you all of this cause it's what? Improv. Surprise, bitch. At the end of the credits, bitch. More than a name and some ambience, bitch. More than some gamma and some edits, bitch.